Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear kindness on their sleeves, making an impact without the world ever knowing. We all know Tom Cruise, the Hollywood legend, the action star, the man who's defied gravity and risked everything for breathtaking stunts. But behind the fame, behind the flashing cameras and red carpets, there's a side of him few people know. A moment of kindness so powerful, it changed someone's life forever. This is the untold story of a dying fan's last wish, and how Tom Cruise did something no one expected. It all started with a letter, a simple, handwritten note, from a young woman named Emily. Emily was just 22 years old, but she had already faced more pain than most people do in a lifetime. Doctors had given her heartbreaking news. Her time was running out. But instead of giving up, she held on to one last dream. She didn't want money. She didn't want fame. She just wanted to say thank you to the man whose movies had given her strength during the hardest times of her life. So she wrote a heartfelt letter explaining how, through every painful treatment, every long night in the hospital, it was his movies that kept her going. The stories of determination, of pushing limits, of never giving up, they made her believe that she could fight just a little longer. She never expected a response. After all, Tom Cruise was one of the busiest men in Hollywood. Thousands of letters poured in every week. Hers was just one among many. But somehow, this letter made its way into his hands. Tom Cruise wasn't known for responding to fan letters personally, but when he read Emily's words, something changed. This wasn't just another fan letter. This wasn't just admiration. This was real. This was someone whose life had been shaped by his work. And in that moment, he made a decision. He wasn't just going to send a letter back. He wasn't going to send an autograph or a signed movie poster. No, he was going to meet her. A few days later, in a quiet hospital room, Emily lay in her bed, exhausted from her treatments. She had no idea what was about to happen. The door slowly opened, and standing there in the doorway was Tom Cruise. For a moment, she thought she was dreaming. But then, he smiled. "Emily, I got your letter, and I just had to come see you." She couldn't believe it. The man she had watched on screen for years was standing right beside her. They talked for hours, about movies, about life, about dreams and battles, both on screen and in real life. And before he left, Tom did something no one expected. He handed her something, an invitation, a personal, all-expense-paid trip to the set of his next movie. "I want you to see what goes on behind the scenes," he said. "I want you to be part of it." Emily's eyes filled with tears. She had spent years watching his movies, dreaming about a world beyond the hospital walls. And now, for the first time, that dream was becoming real. A few weeks later, she arrived on set. The bright lights, the cameras, the action. It was everything she had imagined and more. And Tom Cruise was there, waiting for her. For those few days, she wasn't just a patient. She wasn't just a girl fighting for more time. She was living. And that's what made it so special. Emily's story didn't make headlines. It wasn't a PR stunt, because Tom Cruise never told anyone. He never did it for attention. He did it because he cared. And that's what makes this story so powerful. At the end of the day, success isn't measured by fame or fortune, but by the impact we leave on others. Tom Cruise had everything: money, power, global recognition. But in that moment, he proved that the greatest thing a person can give is their time. Because sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can mean everything to someone else. So what do you think? If you had the chance to change someone's life, would you take it? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to hear more incredible stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. Because the world is full of untold stories, and we're here to share them with you.